Kristan Hawkins puts this obnoxious girl in her place. Check out the video to see what I mean.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus?
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it. Because it's living. It's living.
How about you let her speak?
You're fundamentally denying science to validate your opinion.
You actively deny science, ma'am.
How am I denying? What science did I deny, Darby?
Okay, so let's look at some posters over here.
But
you don't have to be here.
I need you to tell me what science. You just made an accusation that I denied science. What science did I deny?
That it's a child inside of you. It is a clump of cells when
I'm a clump of cells. What makes me different?
That you were born. You were born.
So you don't. What you're arguing is that anything that is not born is not valuable of life.
I did not say that.
It's subjective. So when does a child or fetus or clump of cells, whatever you want to call it, when does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is that? When is the sustainability? No, when is sustainability?
21? About like 30 weeks to born, like 24, 30.
Because how do you sustain life? Like my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just like live on their own, right?
Right.
They're not sustainable. They need help and assistance to survive. So is a newborn not worthy of life?
There's a pattern here that I see happening every single time you see someone ask a question who's protesting in support of abortion. They always have the same lack of knowledge or lack of follow-through thought process on how their stance that they're taking about supporting abortion, what that actually means and the effects of it. So when she was continually asked by Kristan, what does that mean? What is sustainable? What would be determined to be sustainable? So unsustainable. I love the example that she gave. You know, when I have my newborn, they can't live on their own. They are depending on me. They're not sustainable. They have to. I have to help them. So when is what is your line as to someone who is sustainable that can now be allowed to live? I guess she didn't have an answer for it. She had no answer for it. And when she asked that question about then why 30 years ago my mom was protesting the same thing as we all are protesting today, why is that still up there and a problem? Kristan's answer is spot on. It's because when she said about people who just having sex and not being responsible about it, and then when they get pregnant, they're like thinking about how it's going to affect their life, how it's going to interrupt their life, and then they make the choice to have an abortion. Now, she's not talking about, I don't think, all people, but that is the majority of the problem and why abortion and not having an abortion is even up there for conversation. If people didn't abuse it, I think it'd be a totally different story today.